Hi, my name is Mandeep, and I will be walking you through the preliminary design process of our new VocFlash app. Meet our young busy bee, Monique. She is a full-time psychology student doing a minor in pre-med. She really enjoys hiking and traveling during her vacations from school with her friends and family. She also enjoys working with special needs adults at a group home part-time. Just this summer, she has started studying for the MCATS exams she's planning to take in the early spring. She finds herself studying on the weekends and during her break at work using flashcards and a laptop. Monique would like to find an application that enables her to memorize terms and images to pass her exams. She would love to stay focused and motivated to study since she will be on this journey for the several upcoming months. Monique is a very visual learner. She needs a quick and easy way to study her terminology and images. She would also like to test her knowledge in different fun formats. She finds it really annoying to have to carry her textbook and laptop between work and school to study the images and terms she needs to learn in order to ace her exams. She used to use a lot of traditional flashcards, but up until last year, she found that she would lose some of her flashcards. They were also very time consuming to create. We will know this app will be the one when we see that she can swiftly create the content she needs to effectively study for her exams in school, so much that it becomes habitual enough to continue to use until the MCATS exam. After taking the time to understand Monique's goals and motivations and doing a competitive analysis of other apps, I came up with two user tasks to test with an entry point and success criteria. Based on the two tasks, I designed a user flow for each task, thus creating a flow of the screens Monique would need to navigate to accomplish these tasks. Her first task will be to create visual images on flashcards, and her second task will be to create a custom quiz. These flows provide a visual roadmap of the wireframes we need to design the application. So after creating my user flows, I designed the first draft of our prototype. I spent 5 to 10 minutes hand sketching these wireframes based on the user flow maps. I used the time to play with button placement and functions we can present to the user on every screen. The first wireframe shows different types of user logins after the user passes the intro screens. The second wireframe, we give Monique this option to study, create, or explore new content along with a horizontal navigation along the bottom of the frame. The third wireframe shows Monique an empty flashcard she can begin filling out right away with options to further customize her card as she sees fit. She can customize the card by adding an image or making some of the words bold or color coding the flashcard. She can create a mnemonic device, and she can even create a sentence to show the context of the term. In the fourth wireframe, Monique will be given a few different testing methods she can combine to create a fun quiz. In the fifth wireframe, we will provide Monique with the results of her testing, which will hopefully motivate her to study again if necessary. To test these wireframes, we came up with 4 different tasks for Monique to complete. Task 1, to create an account. Task 2 is to create a new flashcard set. Task 3 is to add images on flashcards to study. And task 4 is to create a custom quiz to study. This is our usability test plan. Here are the observations I made on the usability testing phase. We tested the app with Monique and users of a similar age group who are looking for efficient ways to study. In wireframe A, all of the users tried to swipe left or right while reading the intro screens. They were very frustrated they couldn't complete the actions since they wanted to reread all of the fun information about what the app does. Interestingly, no one pressed the sign up button during the onboarding process until they reached the final sign up page, which is wireframe B. This can be fixed by enabling the swiping ability between the intro screens. In wireframe B, all of the users ignored the social media logins and immediately tried to fill out their credentials in the fields. They were frustrated there was no keyboard pop-up to allow them to fill out their information and that it just changed to the next screen. Half of the users also noticed there was no user agreement to accept. These can easily be fixed by adding a keyboard pop-up and adding the user terms agreement hyperlink to the screen. When the users landed on wireframe C, they were prompted to start the next task of creating a quiz since they had successfully accomplished task 2 already. I thought they would be able to figure out how to go back to the home screen by tapping the return button located in the upper left-hand corner. Their goal was to end up in wireframe D in order to accomplish the task of creating the quiz. I believe adding a quick pop-up notification advising them how to exit during the first use of the app would help them remember how they can exit a function at any time. When users were prompted to add images to their flashcards, some of them tried to figure out a way to edit their existing cards versus creating new cards with photo images from the home screen in wireframe E. There was no function available. Therefore, an edit function must be created on the home screen. When the users were tasked to create a custom quiz to study, I realized they didn't equate the term quiz to study. They complained they didn't see the option to quiz from the home page. They defined taking a quiz similar to testing your knowledge. Therefore, there needs to be a quiz button created. Some of the users complained they tried to click the study button in the home screen to start studying cards as well. We need to invest time in building out the study function. Here are the improvements we made based on our usability testing. We enabled the swipe left and right movement of the intro screens. There were no visual changes there. We added a keyboard pop-up in wireframe A that will be activated when the user clicks on any field. We also moved around some of the buttons and fields on the screen and added the term agreement hyperlink to the bottom of wireframe B. Wireframe C shows a small pop-up that lets the users know what to press when they would like to exit a function in the app. This pop-up will only appear in the initial use of the app. Here are the improvements made based on task 3. The user had complained about the inability to add a photo to existing cards. Based on this information, I added the edit function to the home page in wireframe A. I also built out new wireframes that would flow from the edit function. Wireframe B presents the user with the option to quick search for a specific deck, and it also displays all of the decks they have created as highlighted in yellow. After clicking on the deck they would like to edit, they can then proceed to add a card or edit a card in the existing deck in wireframe C. Since this is the first time the user is accessing the edit function, there is a temporary pop-up letting the user know how they can add a card to the set. After clicking anywhere on the screen, the pop-up will disappear and they will see all of their terms listed in wireframe D to choose from to edit. After the user taps a term, they will have the ability to make the changes to the card as shown in wireframe E. They can upload an image or make any other edits they wanted to make. When they think they're done, they can simply click save and the app will flow back to wireframe D. Here are the improvements we made based on task 4. I activated the study function in wireframe A so the user can learn terms through the traditional way of flipping cards. After clicking the study function, the next screen will be wireframe B, which shows the option to explore other card sets, or use saved card sets, or simply study their favorite terms. All yellow post-its in wireframes C through E are pop-ups indicating how to use a button or how to perform an action. The pop-ups disappear after a few seconds or by tapping. In wireframe C, the user can swipe up for the answer. In wireframe D, they can press the star button to favorite a card. In wireframe E, they can swipe left if they got it wrong, or swipe right if they guessed the answer right. This gives the user the opportunity to study just the favorites or the entire deck all over again as shown in wireframe H. I also changed the name of the Explore New Content button to Quiz Yourself button so that the users could identify the option to go straight into testing from the home screen in wireframe A. The user still has the ability to keyword search for other study sets in the app created by other users, or they can choose a set they created in wireframe B. The user is then prompted with a quick pop-up notifying them that they can pick as many options as they like to create their quiz. And wireframe E shows the options our user picked during the test, which is all of them. After selecting the Go button, their quiz will begin. So what are the future improvements? 1, we will add permission prompts to access camera, photo, and library. Users were startled the application automatically had access to their photo library without warning, which can totally affect their trust. So we think this will be a huge improvement. 2, improve the camera icon. 3, add ability to upload a GIF file to flashcards. And 4, we're going to create higher fidelity screens after further testing. So here's what I learned from the design process. It's important to research the competition in the marketplace so you can see what does and doesn't work well. 2, reach out to potential users and define a user persona profile. This helped me keep in mind the goals and needs of Monique as I was designing the application. 3, I learned to create a user flow and to explore card sorts to gain a clear understanding of the organization of information necessary to build out your app and website. The user flow helps create a general outline for screens we need to develop in the next step. 4, I learned to do quick and rough wireframe sketches on paper to explore different variations of button placement and functionality before investing too much time and money redesigning higher fidelity protos down the line. And 5, I learned to perform usability testing so we can make improvements to the app while keeping Monique's goals and needs in mind. Thank you so much for your time.